How's it going, everybody? It is Ethan, or Unknown Coder, and welcome back to another devlog. It's actually been a long time since I've done any recording on this series, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But for now, I do want to go ahead and just hop into some code, take a look at some things, and talk about my overall plan for the episode. And then later on, we'll also do a time lapse. That way I can talk about what's been going on, why I haven't been coding. So let's go ahead and hop into the computer and get to some work. So last episode we were working on this, we left off on testing all the way to self-closing start tag. So at this point, I'm getting really tired of actually working on the tokenizer and just on this part API parser in general. So I thought this was going to be a quick little service, but actually it turns out it's not actually a quick little service. We also completely killed our tokenizer state manager class because we did this tokenizer state factory class, or tokenizer state logic factory class, that essentially took over the role of this. Last time what I did is I went through and I did like all 40 of these, 40 plus of these, because I have some of these done as well. And then I went through and tested. So that turned out being not a great idea, because it turns out that writing all of these tests down here, so writing all of these tests right here just is not very much fun, and it's not a great time. So now I want to go ahead and start doing some test-driven development. But even with test-driven development, it took me like 30 minutes to write one single component or one single state of our tokenizer state logic thing. So I wrote the logic for bogus comments during a live stream, and it took me like 30 minutes. The first thing that I would like to do is kind of go through all of these tests here and start abstracting away, or figuring out what I can abstract away out of this. For example, a lot of our setup right here is the same. Some of our tests for infile, tests for null, things like that are the same. So what I would kind of like to do is go through and just write down or figure out what is shared and kind of abstract those into some utility classes. That way I can easily test. So here for the next couple days, while I'm doing some other things, when I have some time, I'm going to start going through these tests and figuring that out. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to create that class, and I'll be back with you guys with an update once I get that finished, or at least have an idea. And then after that, I would kind of like to do a quick time lapse of getting some more of these states done. That way I can chat about what's been going on. So let me go ahead and start working on that. I'll be back with you guys with some updates later on this week. So I have been absolutely grinding. We can go ahead and take a look at what our count was, our line count for our old test. Previously, it was at 6,706 lines of testing code. If we go ahead and actually take a look at it now, we'll see how much I actually cut out of here. So give me one moment. So this command that I'm running right now will actually find all of the words or all of the lines in our program that have a .java file. We run this, now we are down to 6,578. So I cut out almost or over 1,000 lines of code. I've been absolutely grinding away. So all I did was kind of just went through every single one of our test files here and just looked to see what I could abstract into a tokenizer test class, essentially. So we're setting up some iterators, setting up the state in some different ways. There's like 4 ways we set up the state here, checking to make sure we emitted the right type of token and whatnot, checking the tokens for correctness, so on and so forth. So with that being said, I think now what I want to go ahead and do is for the next 3 or 4 days here, so like Monday to Thursday, I'm going to go through and I'm going to work on getting as much of this done as possible, because I'm going to be honest with you, I really want to get this tokenizer done so it can move forward. So we are going to kick it into a quick coding time lapse. I'm going to do a little bit of a chat to talk to you guys about the future of this series and some other series that are coming up, as well as why I've just kind of been struggling to make videos, and then we will wrap up the episode with our closing thoughts and whatnot. So I'll see you guys at the end of the time lapse. So let's go ahead and kick off this time lapse chat. I don't really have any plans for the chat itself. I just had a couple things that I wanted to chat about, first work, and then what I want to do for the channel moving forward. So as you guys know, I mentioned not that long ago, actually 6 weeks ago exactly, that I would be starting a new training batch. So essentially the way the training batches work is the first like 4 or so weeks is typically the most straining, especially the first 2 weeks, which would be essentially the core material. That essentially meant that at the end of the day, I was just pooped. I didn't really want to do anything. Most of the time in the first week or so, literally at the end of the day, I don't want to do anything. I don't even want to play video games. All I want to do is sit down and stare at a YouTube screen or stare at a Twitch screen. So I didn't even really want to play Minecraft. I didn't even really want to do any coding. So that's been like the 4 weeks out of the 6. And then last week I was going to, or I guess actually it was a couple weeks ago. I was going to go upload the Minecraft video that I wanted to upload the big perimeter project of us launching the world eater. I was editing that, getting that all ready to go. It was ready, and I accidentally deleted all of the files. So I deleted the files. I also deleted the actual video itself. I was trying to clear up some space on my hard drive because the time lapse of that video was literally over 100 gigabytes worth of files. So yeah, obviously I wanted to get rid of some things. I thought that I had backed up the actual file. So I was like, okay, I'll store these on my external hard drive. I'll grab it later. I was like, okay, I thought I copied them over, and I clicked delete. And later on in the week before I went to go actually upload the video, I was like, wait a minute, where's all my files? And I started literally panicking everything, and they're all gone. I spent probably like 2 or 3 hours going through trying to get it back, trying to do stuff. I ended up getting back like 75% of the video files and part of the project, but there's still just way too much stuff missing. I just thought the episode wasn't going to be great. Not only did I have to restart the episode, it also turned out that I didn't have a backup from when I actually first started, because I also deleted those. So not only did I not have all the video files that I just spent probably like 40, 50, 60 hours recording and editing, I had to start over from a video or a world backup from like 2 episodes previous. I had to completely rebuild half of the world eater. I had to clear out my old base, bring all my stuff up, all of that good stuff. That set me back over a week whenever I could have been working on this instead. But luckily I got all that working again, and now we've hit week 6 of my job. It'll be almost week 7 whenever you guys see this. And now I'm starting to, I am burnt out, but I'm not doing as much coding during work, and I have more time to myself to kind of decompress while the people are working on and studying. Now I should be able to start easing myself back into these projects. And the other thing that's kind of been putting me off of working on this project is that we've just been working on the same exact piece for so long. Everyone I think who's done developing on a project or a personal project knows the meme that's like, oh, we have this project, but there's a new shiny project that we're working on. So I've essentially hit that point, and it's just because we've been doing this tokenizer for so long that it's just getting harder and harder for me to actually want to work on this. To remedy this and to make sure that we have more content up, because I can only make Minecraft content so fast, I can only make this coding content so fast, I'm actually thinking about starting another series here on the channel. I want to be careful. I don't want to spin it as a tutorial or anything, because there might be some gray area there since I'm technically training people on technology. So I want to be careful of that. But what I'm thinking of doing is doing a little bit more of a more structured Let's Build series. This is very unstructured. I'm just kind of doing some coding, giving you guys updates, so on and so forth. So I'm thinking about doing a video series where I literally record myself start to finish working on a project and building it all the way up. Barely any cuts. I mean, I might cut out my terrible spelling mistakes and stuff, but literally cutting it up into bite-sized content. So essentially what I could probably do is I'm going to be going on PTO here in just about a month at this point. I'm thinking about actually pushing it, but it is what it is. Around the 4th of July, I'm going to be having some PTO. My wife still goes to work, so I'll have time to just sit down and record. So I'm thinking about just sitting down and going from start to finish with a full stack application and just splitting it up into layers. So for example, episode 1 might be making this model, episode 2 might be making the repository for that model, episode 3 the service, episode 4 maybe the front end, so on and so forth. So I'll record probably like 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 40 hours, who knows, of content, split it up into 10 to 15 minute sections and upload it probably once a week, maybe twice a week, who knows. Then that way, while I'm kind of just like inching along on this episodes, I can also have those episodes to upload, and also while I'm inching along on my Minecraft series, I'll also have those upload as well. So maybe I'll upload those on Monday and Wednesdays, and then I'll have maybe some content on Friday, or maybe another episode as well on Friday. That way I can have consistent uploads, because my channel has been doing the best when I've had consistent like technology uploads. Then I'll be doing the best of both worlds. I'll be able to also play Minecraft, which I love, and it's a great decompressor, but I'll also be able to upload tech videos every single week, at least once a week, to help the growth as well. That's kind of my plan going forward with the channel and with tech videos and stuff. I'm not abandoning this project. I'm just going to try to ease my mind / work on some other things as well. That way I don't have to just keep banging my head against this, and I can kind of play with the shiny new toy as well. So I think that's going to be it for our coding time-lapse chat. So I'll see you guys back into the video at the end here. All right, everyone. So we have wrapped up what I wanted to finish today, but in this episode, we went ahead and went all the way through and refactored all of the tests that we already had. We did a bunch of utility methods here inside of this class that we can use inside of our tests themselves. On top of this, I also went back through and I did 20 more of the tokenizer states. So that means that we only have 20 left. I've gone through 60 of them. So what I'd really like to do before the next episode is go back through all of these and get all the way through 80. So my plan is for the next episode is probably to start out with a little bit of a time lapse of me finishing up these last 20. Then after that, we can actually get started working on the parsing and actually maybe outputting an HTML file soon. So I think that's actually going to be it for this episode. It might be a little bit short, and we maybe didn't get that much done, but we did do a whole bunch of code writing and we actually saved a lot of space. And I feel pretty good about where we're at, because with this tokenizer util test class, we made writing tests a lot faster. We can get through a lot more of these classes a lot faster. So I feel pretty confident in getting everything done. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up here. I want to thank you all for watching. This has been Ethan on Koder. Peace out. See you guys in the next episode. We'll start parsing some HTML.